All right, let's get right into it. What you're about to see is our official breakdown of the recent and, let's just say, anomalous events that transpired in the town of Mayorsville. Our goal here is to unpack the data from the main incident and everything that happened right after. So let's begin. So this is the central question, right? The one that kicks this whole thing off. What are the actual consequences when an entire town lives through half a year in the time it takes to draw a breath? The results, as we're about to see, are so much stranger than anyone could have possibly predicted. So we'll start with the inciting incident, which has been officially designated the 5-second time jump. This single event is the catalyst for, well, everything else that follows. Okay, and the clinical definition of the event? It's called the time toilet incident. You heard that correctly. Initial reports show that the town's mayor, a man named Mayor, became trapped, and this somehow triggered the temporal distortion. The scale here is just staggering. 6 months of local time zipped by for every 5 seconds of outside observation. And the speed of this was just extreme. At the 0-second mark, Mayor Yor goes into the facility. By the time you count to 5, 6 months have passed for everyone in the affected areas. The only warning they got was for residents to find some solid seating and, quote, brace for impact. The impact wasn't just in Mayorsville either. In total, 4 counties got hit by this temporal crisis: Mayor Hub, Green Bean, Hobo, and Fish. Now let's turn to the direct human consequences. The following case files get into the really strange events that happened during that time jump. And we're going to focus on 2 very specific, very weird cases. Okay, case file number 1. During the 6-month time jump, a local citizen, Gianni M., apparently decided to take the law into his own hands. He neutralized the head of the Tiny Men crime syndicate, a boss named Tiny, with what reports are only describing as a monstrous basketball dunk. The injuries were fatal. And what's really wild is the complete lack of any police response. It just happened. Our second case file is just as bizarre, if not more so. Mateo F., you might know him as the creator of the TV series The Boys, has undergone a complete physical inversion. And I need to be clear, this is not a metaphor. The laws of physics as they apply to his body have fundamentally changed. The official description from researchers on the scene is, with an almost unbelievable simplicity, that he is, quote, upside down and backwards. That is literally the full extent of their current clinical assessment. So naturally, they tried to reverse his condition. The feedback they got was, well, it was unique. Mateo himself described this sensation as, and I'm quoting here, like being sandwiched between a Norwegian goat and a French house cat. So as you might guess, they've suspended any further reversal attempts. And it seems he's settled in for the long haul. The subject has actually declared he's going to stay inverted for a period of 28 years. According to his own timeline, he's not planning a return to normal physical orientation until the year 2053. But the effects of the incident weren't just limited to individuals. These next couple of case files show things escalating into the geopolitical and, yep, even the supernatural spheres. Case file number 3. A local resident we only know as V competed in the All Trucks Gathering event. And V's performance was apparently so mind-blowing that it didn't just win the top prize. It sparked a totally unforeseen international incident. The winning performance was reportedly capped off by V saying a very simple, 2-word phrase that has since become famous within the town's bizarre new reality: "Mer truck." And the geopolitical fallout was immediate. The president of Uganda initiated a state visit directly to V's truck, completely bypassing City Hall. V was then granted Ugandan citizenship, which is valid until 2035. And, in a related note, the runner-up in the competition ended up in the hospital after punching their own vehicle. All right, this is our final case file, and it details what is by far the most severe consequence to date: a full-blown supernatural crisis started by a local live streamer, resulting in a Class 3 demonic incursion. So the protocol, which we actually observed on a stream by a user named Brongo23, goes like this. Step 1. Smear BBQ sauce on a framed picture of LeBron James. Step 2. This action, it turns out, summons the demon of lust. Step 3, this unleashes doppelgangers of the basketball star, made entirely of BBQ sauce.
The crucial fourth step, the person doing this, Jonathan F., is continuing the activity and refuses to stop.
As you can imagine, this crisis required a multi-agency response. The main stakeholders are the perpetrator, Jonathan F., the FBI, who's been tasked with containment, the actual LeBron James, who has been designated an appeasement asset, and of course, the hostile entity, the demon of lust. So, after reviewing these initial case files, we really have to step back and try to assess the new state of reality in Mayorsville. This comparative analysis really gives you a stark overview. Before the incident, law and order was, well, standard. Post-incident, it now includes vigilante justice via dunking. Physics used to be normal, now human inversion is possible. Diplomacy was conventional, now you have truck-based accords. And finally, threats used to be terrestrial, now they're demonic and specifically BBQ sauce-based. The data presents a town that has been fundamentally rewritten by a 5-second anomaly, and it forces us to ask a deeply, deeply unsettling question. If this is the new reality after just 6 months, what on earth will Mayorsville look like after 6 more?